What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to the Light to Metal. It's time for yet another rock metal update. That's right. It's my March of 2022 Part 2 vinyl update. 90% metal here, if not all metal this time around. But this is a lot of old pressings, not 2022 releases like I just showed in Part 1. So this is Black Alice, Australian band, kind of an underground thing. It's on a independent release. Not real difficult to find. Someone turned me on to these guys, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna check them out, and I really liked it. Straightforward heavy metal, kind of a gritty voice, kind of reminds me a little bit of Dan McCabe from Nazareth. But yeah, just great, straightforward, old school heavy metal from Australia. I think it was from the mid '80s. But actually, the way I found out about this band was as I was looking for 7-inch singles in my never-ending quest to apparently own every 7-inch single ever released, this seller had a couple of singles that I wanted. So I'm like, let's see what else he has. And then he had this Black Alice, and some people had told me about them in the past. So I'm like, let me check that out. So he had a copy that was in near mint condition, so I went ahead and grabbed it from him, and I'm glad I did because I really enjoyed this one, and I've played it several times since picking it up. Straightforward heavy metal, like I said. It's got a bit of a commercial bend, but it's far and away not like a pop metal or glam metal thing. So, all right, next up, this is original 80s pressing of Destruction's Mad Butcher EP, obviously picture disc. Picked this up from my buddy Rob, who is getting rid of some of his collection. So here's the front, and some great live shots in the back. 4-song EP, Steamhammer Records, kind of a rarity, not one you see around very often. Wasn't cheap, but wasn't ultra expensive either, so I'm glad to have it as part of my Destruction collection. I was missing this on vinyl altogether, so it was just a no-brainer to grab it from him. I need to find a proper sleeve for this, because this is just obviously just a insert protector sleeve. It's not a sleeve for picture discs, so I'm gonna have to find me one. And obviously this is just a piece of cardboard to keep it protected as well. So I'll find one. I've done it before. A couple times I went and bought cheap picture discs in like dollar bins at record stores just because I wanted the sleeve. And the 2 times I can think about that I did that, I brought the records home and ended up discovering new bands that I liked because I'd never heard these bands before. I just bought them because they were cheap and bought them home and dug them. So I remember one of them was a band called Liar. So anyhow, Destruction, Teutonic Thrash Metal, Mad Butcher EP. I might have showed this one before, I can't remember. This is the St. Vitus Die Healing. Really, really nice pressing of this. It's got an obi strip. It's got so here's your obi strip that's kind of wrapped around the side here. I'm not going to take it off, but and then I don't know how well this is going to show, but the St. Vitus logo is actually, let's see if I can get a glare going on. It's actually embossed. Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to show, but anyhow, the St. Vitus logo is embossed. The back is black and actual, metallic silver ink. As is actually the front. The sky is actually a metallic silver ink, so really nicely printed. It is on a emerald green vinyl. Comes with a insert and a poster. If I can get it out of here. So here's your insert. So like I said, really nice pressing. I don't know when this pressing is from. There's no recent copyright year on here anywhere, so I don't know. This one too, as with the Mad Butcher EP, I picked up from my buddy Rob. Just one of the few St. Vitus that I was missing in my vinyl collection, so really glad to have it, and thanks again, Rob. Alright, next up, The Great Cat. This is Beethoven on Speed. This was her second album on Road Racer. Yeah, she's definitely a character. She's definitely got a talent How much you like her songwriting, that's a different story. I mean, she likes to play all this classical stuff, you know, speed metal style, and she's all into the whole, you know, bondage thing, and she's definitely a strange cat. But I do like those first couple albums. When I was in college when her first album came out, and it was like we were all like giddy about how it was almost a joke, but we dug it so much. So you know, joke or not, we enjoyed the music. So this one's a little more. She's getting more into the classical stuff, but there is still some just straightforward speed metal on here with some shredding guitar solos and her hyper over the top voice. Yep, she's still around, still kicking, still on social media, pushing her product, pushing her music. So she calls herself a genius. I don't know, maybe she is, I don't know. But anyhow, the Great Cats, Beethoven on speed. A couple of EPs I picked up from Alice Cooper from about, I don't know, what, 84, 83, somewhere in that area, during his kind of new wave hard rock phase. But this is got 4 songs: Who Do We Think We Are, Model Citizen, For Britain Only, and Under My Wheels Live. So, well, I'm always on the lookout for Alice Cooper, whether it's 7-inch singles, 12-inch singles, albums, bootlegs. So anyhow, this one I just didn't know and I thought it was pretty cool. I really liked it. I liked his look during that period too. It was different than the 70s look and how he looks now, but it was still a cool look. Alice Cooper, For Britain Only, 4-song live EP, and then this is a 12-inch single for Teenage Frankenstein, backed with Schooled Out and Only Women for Lead, recorded live. So this is more mid-80s, about 86 or so, I'd say. So, all right, this one, it's okay. This didn't blow me away as much as I had hoped it would. I'm actually familiar with this artist more because of Aerosmith than anything else, but this is Richie Supa. Now, Richie Supa has written a lot of tracks with Aerosmith, and a few of them are my favorites. Like, actually, one of them is on here. It's called Chip Away at the Stone. I always loved that track. Aerosmith recorded it in the 70s. Well, Richie Supa recorded it first. It was his track, and then they re-recorded it, and they had, it was kind of a semi-hit. It wasn't a hit as far as radio goes, but it was hit among fans. But anyhow, so I finally picked up a copy of the Richie Supa album with that song on it. Richie Supa also wrote with him Pink, and I'm trying to think what other songs. I know he wrote with him during Rock and Hard Place too. I can't remember which track it was. But anyhow, yeah, it's okay. It's just kind of, I don't know, AOR kind of stuff, kind of melodic. It's not bad. It's just not what I was hoping for. I was hoping for something a little more raw, a little more rocking. I do like I do like to hear the original version of Chip Away at the Stone, which is the whole reason I picked up this album to begin with. So that's kind of cool. But overall, yeah, I wasn't super impressed with the album as a whole. So anyhow, if you're into AOR, you might dig it. It's, like I said, it's not that raw, heavy, grungy stuff that Aerosmith are putting out in 77, 78. What year did this come out? This came out in 78. So that was actually, I think, the same year that Aerosmith recorded it. So, interesting. Richie Supa, Tall Tales. I think When the Lightning Strikes is also a Richie Supa composition from Aerosmith. All right, this is another King's X related product. This is Grinder Blues. Almost showed this one in my new releases video that I did, but this one actually came out last year. So Doug Pinnick being the King's X connection here, but this is definitely not King's X. You still have Doug singing at times. He has that soulful voice. Always liked his vocal style. But musically, this is more like ZZ Top style Texas blues. Really enjoyed this album. It's not heavy metal. It's not. I wouldn't even call it hard rock. And maybe you could call it hard rock. It's, like I said, it's kind of ZZ Top style blues rock. So quite enjoyed it. Really good album from Grinder Blues. I believe this is their second album. I think it's the first one available on vinyl. But yeah, as soon as I found out it was on vinyl, I grabbed a copy and I played this thing a bunch of times. So there's Doug right there in the middle, Doug Pinnick of the Mighty King's X. This is an awesome pickup again from my buddy Rob. This is an original pressing of Scorpions' Tokyo Tales from Japan. Obviously, it has the OB strip on it. If you look closely here, it's got the embossed and foil stamped Scorpion on there. Really cool back cover. It does have a gatefold. This copy is pristine. Double LP. So you can see the center spread here. And there's the cover art. And you can see that Scorpion in the middle. I always wanted to own a copy of this, and it just, I've never seen a copy in the, you know, the wild, as they call it. So I was really happy to grab this one from my buddy Rob when he was selling it. No, it was not cheap, but it was not overpriced either. Here is the insert with the lyrics and a little bio on the band in Japanese. Really nice, really nice. This Japanese pressing is superb. Everything about it, right down to the actual pressing, which is so clean. And like I said, this is an original pressing from back in what, '78. So this thing's been around for a long time, and it still sounds like it was unplayed. All right, Scorpions, Tokyo Tapes. Where we at here? New Wave British Heavy Metal Band. This is Tigers of Pan Tang. This is obviously a more recent album. Love the cover art. Ambush was the name of the album. I can't remember what year this one originally came out. But this is the 2020 edition. It has a sticker on the front claiming bonus tracks. Yeah, the bonus track is a studio outtake called Cruel Hands of Time. It's not bad, but I think the download card offers more. Includes 4 bonus tracks with download card. I just never do it. I never do the downloads, so I don't even know what they sound like. Musically, this thing is just really solid. Melodic heavy metal, hard rock, whatever you want to call it. Nice inner sleeve. Yeah, I mean, it's really... This is a great album. I enjoyed it when it came out on CD, so I was glad to find out it came out on vinyl. Can't remember what year this one originally came out, but this is a 2020 vinyl pressing, and it is just straight up black vinyl. Rodney Matthews is the artist. He does just such amazing work. Definitely has his own signature style. You can tell it's a Rodney Matthews painting, but man, it's just stuff is just so awesome. I mean, if I could paint like that, I would love to be able to have paint like that. Originally, when I first, decided I wanted to become an artist as a kid, literally, I had started with painting. I was painting acrylics. Got into painting the back of people's denim jackets in high school. Painted a ton of them. I remember painting Merciful Fate's Melissa on the back of a jacket. Don't Break the Oath on the back of a jacket. I remember painting Queensryche's second album, The Warning, with the EP logo on the top of a jacket. I painted so many jackets in high school. It wasn't even funny. Iron Maiden, Aces High. So, I mean, I was really into painting back then, but as I moved on, I started getting more and more into graphic design and getting into, especially when I went into college and went to college for graphics, I just really, I did the art program, but I ended up getting my degree in graphic design. I just really enjoyed that aspect of it, and that's what I do to this day. So I do a lot of graphic design, and I haven't painted in years, so not even sure I could do it these days. It's been so long, but great album from Tigers of Pan Tang, Ambush. All right, what do we got next? We got a few more classic releases or original pressings. This is the Awful Truth. This is a Metal Blade release. This set pressing, it actually has a press kit in it. No photo, just a press insert. I can't read it because it's in another language. I couldn't even tell you what language that is. But the Awful Truth, this is basically the beginnings of the Galactic Cowboys. So this is pre-Galactic Cowboys, post would be after. And it features 2 of the 4 members, including bass player, vocalist Monty Colvin, who did a lot of art, and he's still doing art. Matter of fact, Art That Rocks. Monty Colvin's site. I I'm going to be doing a video showing. I bought a couple of his paintings, his prints, and I'll be doing that video soon and showing those off. But man, the guy is just superb. I love his style, love his artwork, and I love the Galactic Cowboys. So if you're into that Galactic Cowboys King's X sound, The Awful Truth is similar to that style. Kind of hard to find. It was on Music for Nations in Europe. It was on Metal Blade in the United States. Vinyl pressings are not easy to find. This one here I bought from somebody in Europe. It's got a huge, as you can see, split right there. But other than that, it's in excellent condition. Vinyl is in perfect condition. It's got the insert. So who else was in here from, was it Alan Doss? Yes, Alan Doss, drummer and vocalist for the band, also went on to form Galactic Cowboys. So, love to see this one re-released on vinyl. Like I said, I'm just really a huge fan of, that King's X, Galactic Cowboys, Houston, Texas sound that those guys pioneered, and this is definitely in that style. Alright, this is a grail for me. It really is. If you've watched my videos for any amount of time, me saying grail is pretty rare, but this is literally one that I've wanted since I was a kid and never owned a copy. I just never could afford it, and they were always, hundreds of dollars copies, but it's a Japanese release only, and it's a promotional release for Blue Oyster Cult and Aerosmith. So you've got, the name of the album is New York's Heavy Metal Sound. Blue Oyster Cult. And of course, people argue with you to death these days that there was no heavy metal in the 70s. Aerosmith and Blue Oyster Cult, they were just hard rock bands. They were never called heavy metal. Heavy metal wasn't even used in the 70s. Yes, it was. I've got tons of magazines. I've got tons of articles. I've got books on the history of heavy metal. I've got this right there, New York's Heavy Metal Sound, Aerosmith. So Blue Oyster Cult and Aerosmith. The Aerosmith songs are Symbol Song and Dance, Lord of the Thighs, SOS, Too Bad, and Train Kept a Rollin', all from Get Your Wings. And for Blue Oyster Cult, it's a little bit of a mixed bag because there's a couple of live tracks on here, but you've got The Red and the Black, Flaming Telepaths, Me, Cities on Flame, which I believe is a live version, Hot Roads to Hell, Rails to Hell, which I also believe is a live version, but regardless, I just always wanted to own this record and never have. And this is a very, almost nearly perfect copy. Only flaw is if you look in this corner over here, you can kind of see it's got a little bit of aging and spotting, where it's like got some spot. I just got some spots on it from age, but other than that, everything is. I mean, even the, there's no mushy ends, there's no split seams, there was no OB strip on this ever. This is how it was released in Japan. So, superb. Finally, always wanted this. So glad. Now the question is, do I put it in the Aerosmith collection or the Blue Oyster Cult collection? I'm going to probably put it in the Blue Oyster Cult collection because this is 1974, or was it 75? 75 when this came out. And Blue Oyster Cult were a bit more popular in 75 than Aerosmith were. They hadn't, Toys in the Attic hadn't broke yet, so they weren't, the huge megastars they would become. Blue Oyster Cult were headlining, stadiums. Aerosmith were an opening act. So that's why you see Blue Oyster Cult is on the front and Aerosmith is on the back. So obviously Aerosmith's sales and popularity pushed past Blue Oyster Cult, but regardless, I love both bands, so I don't know. We'll see. All right, last up we've got, I can't remember, I know I've shown one of these before, I can't remember which one, but Canadian speed thrash metal band, Rectify. This is a 200 pressing copy, double album set. Great stuff, lots of melody going on, but still heavy, nothing cheesy. It's just straightforward, speedy, heavy metal, thrash metal at times. Really enjoyed this band. I picked it up directly from the band. It is a double album set. It is not a gatefold. It is a double wide, wide spine. There's only 200 copies pressed. This is 192 of 200. And I think this is just black vinyl, if I'm not mistaken. There is an insert with lyrics and whatnot, and see, I'm pretty sure it's black vinyl. Yeah, it's just black vinyl, so nothing special about the color of the vinyl. But yeah, I mean, if you're into the new wave of thrash metal that's been coming out for the last, you call it new wave, but it's been really coming out for the last 20 years now, since the early 2000s. These guys are definitely part of that wave, and fantastic band. Like I said, I bought it directly from, one of these I bought directly from the band. The other one was given to me by my buddy Kevin, Metal War God, and he hooked me up with a couple stickers. So, like I said, I may have shown that one in another video, but I'm going to show it again because I've been listening to it quite a bit and enjoying it. So, and then as well, this is I believe their first album. This is Powers That Be. And again, this came from, I bought this one. This one was a gift. This one was I bought from the band. This one also came with a sticker from the band and also a guitar pick. So I thought that was really cool. Rectify, Canadian thrash metal. So there you go. That is my March 2022 vinyl update. Appreciate y'all watching. Once again, leave a message below. Try to get back to everybody. I appreciate y'all watching. Thanks again. God bless. Stay strong.